fire up the ship. Don't you worry now, I'll give you the tip. Just follow the groove, you be alright. Flying through the stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth the driver, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you be alright. Flying through the stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth the driver, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you be alright. Flying through the stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth the driver, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you be alright. Flying through the stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth the driver, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you be alright. Flying through the stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth the driver. Now let's talk quantum. Jump through the space. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth the driver, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you be alright. Flying through the stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Watch yourself go. set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth drive up, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you'll be alright. Flying through stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Watch yourself go. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth drive up, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you'll be alright. Flying through stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Watch yourself go. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth drive up, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you'll be alright. Flying through stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch yourself go. Watch yourself go. Set your destination, keep up with the pace. Smooth drive up, feel that gentle hum. Navigating the cosmos has never been more fun. Just follow the groove, you'll be alright. Flying through stars, shining so bright. Step by step ride, easy and slow. You're a natural pilot, now watch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drake's Den. I'm Mormon631. We have our two other hosts here, Part-Time Villain and Maddie Circus, or whatever he likes to say it as. I can't say how he does. There we go. There it is. So welcome back. Thank you all for coming. If you have any thoughts you want to share during the stream, please do. Today we're going to be covering the org tools and the economy coming into Star Citizen over the next year or two or three or four, depending on how things go.
Hopefully this decade, yes.
We're going to start off a bit about talking about the current patch and then the current org tools, and then we'll move on to speaking about what's coming next. When I say current org tools, I do use that term very lightly because they are not exactly the best. But before we get started, how's your week been, guys? You been on the game since the patch launched, or you been busy with IRL stuff?
All the above.
Yes.
Yeah. So we played it yesterday, Mormon. So we
played a little bit.
Hermes as well. It's actually way better than I expected it to be, which I was kind of pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, the Hermes, it looks like a winner of a ship. Villain started off salty and became a little bit sweeter by the end of the play. We're doing a lot of recording.
It was from to okay. Ooh. That's what I said. you just got upgraded.
He liked this ship.
It's not Connie enough for him. He wants it to be more Connie. That's what he wants.
Yeah, I just wanted to slap a 4 size 5 weapon on it and we're good to go.
But Maddie, you'd be pleased. It fits 32 mole bags.
Yeah.
So it's really good for
that
mining.
Might be the
because
mining
it's not
carrier.
yeah, it's not a massive ship. It's a medium freight, but it holds quite a lot of mole bags, so you can make a decent amount.
We accidentally figured that out yesterday. We killed them all, and it's like, oh, let's go have a look what we've got.
We destroyed
like,
that thing.
Let's
it was
put
great.
the bags in. And it was like, oh, the frick! I was like, woohoo! Eureka!
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else in chat's tested out the Hermes, what your thoughts are on it, but I don't know. I felt like it was really good. I felt it was a bit weighty. It feels like even when it's empty, it's just extremely heavy when it shouldn't be when it's empty. Like the Connie is a lot more maneuverable. That's my biggest critique of it, personally. But the new patch, let's have a little chat about that. I haven't been able to do many of the missions because me and Villain do a lot of recording during the week, so it's hard to get on to play those missions. I don't know if you've had time to test them out, Maddie?
No. I got to do some of the FPS mining missions, and then that unlocks the actual ship mining missions to check that out.
The mining and salvage missions don't come out for another 2 weeks, I don't think. There's the specific mining missions.
There are specific mining missions for this event.
Oh, right, okay.
And there's like a ladder, you need to kind of grind them up before you unlock them.
Got you. Okay. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but from what I saw, one of our org mates, he stumbled into the server when the whole server joined up together, and they just fulfilled the whole thing in one go.
Very nice.
Oh, wow.
It's nice to know that CIG are scaling these events.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've not even started it yet. So for me, I'll get my real thoughts on it after I've released the video tomorrow. We've got a video coming out tomorrow about the Hermes. So I've got to finish off that. That's my night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really been able to play it. But it looks like it's kind of a light patch, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I think the best thing they added is the
lamp.
Last thing. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, night vision.
Lamp.
Big game changer. No one has any excuse to crash into the ground at night anymore.
Well, they've got less excuses.
Less excuse. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm used to flying in the pitch black dark. I
always
just used the ping scan.
I thought you were about to say, I'm used to crashing into the ground.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Surprisingly not.
Yeah, no, I used the ping. Or I used to use it. I used to use the reshade as well a long time ago, but the night vision definitely is a bit of a game changer. So definitely going to be using that.
Looks very pretty. Yes.
I do think it needs a bit of iteration, because even in nights, sometimes the green shades are a little bit too like in your face, a bit bright.
Yeah, I think over time we'll see some tuning to it to get it all perfect. I like that they're making it specific to manufacturers, like the color and the tone.
That is a nice touch, yeah.
I think that
it's
will
kind of cool.
Keep the manufacturers apart from each other, and like keep that like special touch of each ship too.
I think it would be better if they just let people to choose whatever color they kind of want.
Maybe in the future when crafting comes out, that might be a thing, like the type of lamps you could put on your ship when you're creating it. Maybe you could be able to choose the color.
Yeah, imagine those, like in Asia, they've got like a wild tracks with a lot of like colors and lights on them, and they've got like different sounds they're making when you press the horn. That's what I'm imagining we're going to be building.
I think for me, the best thing in the patch, this current patch that we got, even though it's small, was Kelto to Area 18 and Both Hurston right there.
The small stop stations.
Yep, it's perfect. That was like such a good touch. As someone who likes Lorville, I usually don't choose it because I don't have like something like that to like get items really quick. You would have to like take the train and do that whole long process. Now it's easy, like you can get little things there. So I like that touch.
It's good.
I might actually start spawning with you, Villain, and Lorville.
Yeah, slowly get you guys to a dark side.
I forgot this patch that they added that because I was going to pick Lorville because they added that, but I forgot, and I went New Babbage because everybody else was choosing New Babbage.
The only problem with the Keltos I've got, you cannot buy a multi-tool in there. You can get the attachments, but there's no multi-tool, so you still need to travel for that.
There's a few places in the verse where you would expect them to sell certain types of items that don't, like SRT tools. It's so hard to find a station that actually sells those, because you go to some cargo areas and some refinery areas on several stations, and they don't sell them when they should. So I think that needs looking at.
Yes,
totally.
But yeah, so no, they do need to
The
do
only thing
more
I
things
just
like that in the game. Sorry, go ahead.
into my mind, Crafted comes out, and hopefully they're gonna give you that's gonna be the original like blueprint. They're gonna give you a tractor beam blueprint and the multi-tool, the small one, and maybe fuse, and off you go. And then that would kind of fix a lot of problems, I think.
Yeah, no, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, let's move on. So we can kind of get onto the meat of the podcast.
The meaty.
But the new patch looks promising. It's just simple. Hopefully that just means it will work better going forward to the new features, so that we can enjoy the bugs when they come in instead.
One thing, it felt like they fixed servers in this patch.
I think it always feels like that when they launch a new patch.
How long is it gonna last? That's the question.
I mean, that in like a week or two. Let's see.
What I do think is when they released the patch initially, all the servers died into maintenance immediately. Just that made me giggle. It wasn't for long, but
in the patch notes, they did say they did do work on cleanup around POI locations, on how they're going to be cleaning up the clutter of like ships and other things. So hopefully that does help with server performance.
Right. Okay. Right. Let's have a little chat about current org tools and the current economy in the game. Thoughts, guys? I know Maddie has some. Let's start with org tools, because I know you have some very strong feelings about the current setup in the game, Maddie.
Yes.
We've got the party system. It's probably the best one.
It is party system. It's a mess.
It's just too good to be true.
I know they've been tweaking and tuning it, and I'll give them that. But for years, it's just been broken. That's the best way to put it. It's just broken. It breaks all the time. You lose people's names. You lose where they're at. Sometimes you can't jump to people, and it just doesn't work the way it does in most games. Usually, you play most online games, and you never have to worry about the party tools. You know?
Yeah.
Tell me a game like you've run into issues like this. Like we do when we play Star Citizen, and I just hope this year we do get an update on the social tools.
Yeah, I think we should get some update, because as they start adding more things, especially as they're now orienting a lot of events, especially the sandbox events, to orgs, you're going to need those tools. To make them a bit more easy to navigate, essentially. I don't think they're absolutely necessary. We've discussed this in the past. They would definitely help, but they're not absolutely necessary for the missions to run. But having those tools available would just make it that much more smooth and a better experience.
Yeah, it would make it more engaging for players. They'd feel like they're actually participating and being a part of something more than what it usually is, which is sometimes we go and the party's working, and then halfway through, it just like breaks apart. Oh, I can't see who's this, who's that in front of me. Is that an enemy? Especially like when we get in combat scenarios, and PvP combat scenarios, or we're running even AI missions. Sometimes the party breaks and you can't tell who's who. Yeah, everybody wears all different types of armor. Sometimes people wear the enemy's armor, so it's like.
Well, at the moment, one of the things is they fixed the issue where the party markers disappear, but now it's the names disappear. And I'm struggling to tell whether that's on purpose and it's to stop clutter, or it's a bug. It's probably a bug.
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's supposed to work when they get a certain distance, their name pops away, so it doesn't clutter your screen. And then when they approach you a bit closer, their name pops up, so it's easier for you to tell at a certain range. And I just think the bug is within the range meter.
The thing is that Star Citizen is a very complicated game. The org tools that are in the game right now are placeholders. And a lot of the communication tools that are in a lot of other MMOs are added late in development because you need the systems that communication system is going to use to make it work properly. So I don't blame them for not having something in place now, because they clearly needed to get the game further along to make sure that what they did put in works for that system. You know what I mean? But it's just a shame that we have something. I wouldn't say it's dysfunctional. It's just not functional. It's not quite fit for purpose. Go ahead, Villain. Yeah.
Little bit out there. They can fix it by removing them altogether. Done.
Yeah, but then we can't communicate.
No, they still can be in the party. You just cannot see who is in party. So communication needs to come into the thing.
Yeah, right? Do you mean like Tarkov style, basically?
Yeah. Boom, and then it's like I just saved them like 6 months of work.
Yeah, well, that'll be included in a little bit later on, because I think it'll become more of a diegetic thing, using FPS scanning and also the org hierarchy tool, which we'll discuss a bit later on the next board. But I think something similar to that, not exactly like that, will become how it works, because you'll use your AR on your visor and on your ship to identify who is with and without you as part of the world. There's going to be a little bit like that, where you'd have to ping and it would say, oh, this person's a friendly or this person's an enemy. I think that the main issues with the comms as they are now is all of it is intermittent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'll come into the verse and the global chat isn't working, but VoIP is. Other times I'll come in and global chat's working and VoIP isn't working. And sometimes I'll come in and none of it's working. So it's more the inconsistency that's the issue right now. Yes. I think for the time, if it was working as it should, it would be right for what it is now.
And I agree with you 100%. I feel like if the party system that we currently have, which it isn't really that bad, it's just very simplified. If it did work 100% and we wouldn't have all these little bugs that happen due to little tiny things, it'd be way more enjoyable when we do multi-crew gameplay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest issue. Kind of breaks the multi-crew gameplay of the side of things when the party system just falls apart.
I think the biggest issue right now, I'm just going to use my incredible drawing talent. This is a Carrack, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I can tell.
You see how detailed that is. So, just coming off what you've just said, Maddie. So, if you've got an org, let's say, oh, hold on, I just done a whoopsie. Bear with. Okay, we need
It's working. Let him cook. There you go. Bang.
Okay. Let's see, these guys are all members of an org, yeah? But only these two are in a party. So if they're flying their Carrack, they have to invite these guys to the party in order to have them on the Carrack without any issues like opening doors, accessing terminals, things like that.
Yes.
What we're missing at the moment is the ability to have several parties, and the game recognizes that these two belong to the same org, so this guy can come on and off that ship with what would be the permission system. So they don't necessarily have to be in the same party, but they'd still be able to access the ships depending on permissions on that ship.
Exactly.
Like magic, man.
I think that's a bit of an issue, because when we're doing our filming, a lot of the time when we're doing multi-crew combat, we have this issue where if me and Villain are the ones that have the ship and we need to lend the ship to the other team to film that combat scenario, they're in the same org. They should be able to use the ship without any issue. But then you've got the issue of you can only open the doors if the person in the pilot seat opens all the doors. So it's creating some issues in the game, just teething problems really, that are just very irritating. And even just on a day-to-day gameplay basis, having something in like this where if you're in the same org, it recognizes that, or depending on maybe the pilot's getting locked out in dead space. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So maybe the pilot sets permissions saying all org members for this org permission to access his ship. That just means that these guys can come in and out, no trespassing or anything like that. And that's kind of what we need, but that's something that's really missing from the game and is very irritating.
Yep. And that's pretty much all work tools we've got right now. Chat and party thing. That's it.
Basically it. There's not really much in the way of orgs. Global chat is probably the main way in which you can gather people together who are outside the org, and that's it. You got party chat and ship chat. And that's still quite awkward to use. Now, the economy.
It's getting there.
Super inflation.
I would disagree with that statement because it's still being manually.
It's getting there?
Yeah, it's still being manually tweaked. I think it needs a dynamic system.
That's what I mean. Like it's getting there. It's nowhere near where it needs to be, but it's getting there.
That's like me being at the base of a mountain, and I'm like, I'm getting there, but I've got the whole mountain to climb.
Here's where it needs to be. This is the top of the mountain. It's getting there.
I blame Gmod.
It's like right here.
Yeah, Gmod single-handedly broke the universe by trading. That's all.
I think what they should do. They should just open the floodgates and just like, you guys deal with the economy. Boom, done.
No, our economy remake is coming with I feel with the crafting update. And I feel like will be like the little start of it. To be honest with you, because I feel like a couple things are going to come into place to start building the economy out. Like even this patch, we got something that was kind of like a little bit of an economy update, which was the descriptions on all the planets and moons, telling you what resources on it, what type of animal you can find on it. So I think that's really helpful to them already, like making a list of like what's going to be here and what's going to be there. So like with that, and I feel like Planet Tech V5 and crafting coming in place, I feel like it'll be easy for them to figure out how to price everything. And then with the dynamic system like Star Sim, that's like what we really need. Until we hear anything on that, I don't think the economy will actually function properly.
I actually think there are several missing components that are required for a dynamic economy in Star Citizen. One of the big ones, is the Genesis V5 Planet Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Because the descriptions that you were speaking about right now, the planets are just kind of generated as they are. They have certain resources, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. When Gen 5 comes in, they will... Well, the planets will fit their descriptions. The rocks, resources, and ores will be distributed according to their specific properties and things like that, and so it will create a larger amount of iron in some places and a larger amount of quantanium on a different planet, where it's not just I can go to any planet, scan any rock, and I'll find all of this in this place. Obviously there'll still be different percentages within a certain rock, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think there's not enough money sinks. If there would be a lot more money sinks, the money would be more valuable. So let's say if they multiply when you're recalling a ship and just make it the 10 times the price what's now, right? The fuel 10 times more expensive what's now. Especially like railgun shots and stuff, that should be way more expensive than like the pocket change we've got now. And suddenly, okay, so now I don't want to crash or call my ship because it's going to cost arm and a leg, you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying there. Like, they can't do that right now because the inflation would be incredibly high based on the economy at the moment.
Yeah, and it'd be a static price point too. It wouldn't ever change.
But you are right, Villain. There needs to be more money sinks, but they can't adjust the prices to account for the economy it is now, because there are players with trillions and trillions after
no,
UEC.
I'm talking about after wipe.
After the wipe, yeah.
Wipe happens, boom, everything is way more expensive.
I think it's expenses and tax. Tax is where the money filters back into the economy, and that's why we need a dynamic economy. But yeah, expenses and tax definitely need to be in there. Tax should be a major part of the game. And yes, Johnny, I also just bought a ton of ships after that night when we helped Gmod with his cargo runs. He paid everyone.
At the point, I don't want to buy anymore because I need to keep on scrolling through the thing all the time. I was like, nah,
yeah,
I'm good.
But the economy is static. It gets adjusted per patch based on, well, the ideas of a small group in CIG and the behavior of players, which isn't terrible, but it's not great. If we're being honest,
I'm unused to the scrolling.
You will get soon. It will be big pain in the ass.
They got to use the search bar, Johnny. You don't need to scroll. You got a search bar in the top right corner.
Yeah, you got the search bar now.
Yeah,
and you became rich at the right time. You got the search bar now.
Yeah, there's a little toggle at the top next to the search bar where you can click it and it'll just show you what's there at the station. You don't know what ship you want. Just get one that you know you're going to use. Don't solo an Idris just because you want to fly the Idris. You're like, what am I doing today? Oh, I'm doing combat. I'll take the Gladius,
I got it for you. You cover your eyes and just press a key on your keyboard. Whatever letter it presses, it'll pop up the ship.
Oh, that would not work for me. I've got 10 atlases, just standard atlases. So I always would get the atlas, but...
Okay, so then you do it again and you press another key.
I have 24 Mirai Furies in my list, so they took up a huge amount. The Sontok Yai, that's a really fun ship to try, Johnny. If you haven't tried that one, I recommend that. It's an alien ship, so it's going to have a ton of disadvantage in PvP, but it's just a fun ship to fly. And the control scheme is interesting. You'll see what I mean when you go in the ship. Those gestures should be enough. I lured a storm into Asgard and wanted to mess with people. That sounds about right. But I think in terms of discussing the current setup in the game, the org tools and economy are almost non-existent in their entirety. They're just very basic forms. Economy is manual and not really quite up to snuff, let's be honest. And the org tools is just the party system, really.
That step in the right direction was slightly with Wicklow. It got a little bit better, kind of different type of economy.
Yeah, but there's no money sink in Wicklow, so it doesn't affect.
Yeah. I think you should be paying on top of that whatever Wicklow additional money, maybe a couple million here and there.
Actually, in a way, Wicklow destroyed the economy because Wicklow caused all the haggling that's going on over the rare equipment.
True.
So in a way, Wicklow kind of destroyed the economy.
The way to get some of these Wicklow parts have made it so crazy to where people were just doing other things to make money amounts to buy parts just instead of trying to achieve them. And I feel like that's where they ran into the issue where they made some of these parts a little bit too extreme to be able to get. I understand the challenge of getting it, but they made some of these things to be able to get a little bit more rare, like some of the smaller price points, and people are just, instead of them going out and trying to find a lot of these things or do the activities to make a lot of the parts for the ships, they just decided, well, how can I make a lot of money and just buy these parts? And I feel like that's where they're failing in the Wicklow side of things when it comes to the economy.
Yeah.
And another thing, the economy only changes every patch. And that's where it's static. What we need is nothing we do in the verse affects the verse, to be honest. If we buy all the ammo, it goes sold out, but then after a day or two, it comes back. But it doesn't raise the price of how much ammo costs now.
Yeah. I think CIG do try and address this with the manual adjustments, but the problem is there's a month to 2 month delay on those adjustments. So it's not creating that feeling of direct interaction with the verse, as Maddie said. Villain? What's the...
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about.
Is that meant to be Villain's face? Is that what he's doing now?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
What did you get lost, villain? He got lost in
No,
the
no,
mighty
I think I was reading stuff. I was like prepare for myself for the next bit. So I was
Johnny,
looking
you
down,
have my full permission to mock villain to the highest extent. You go ahead.
Oh, Polaris thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Polaris
yes.
part.
Yeah.
Sort of
Fond memories.
Sabotage by Chris.
For anyone who doesn't know the ongoings of the org, villain for several patches wanted the Wicklow Polaris, and every time he got close, and I mean he got relatively close at one patch, I know that. Every time he got close, the next patch would come in, it would delete all of his medals, which are extremely hard to find. It would delete
change the recipe.
change the recipe. It would delete half of his Quantanium. And at this point, he was in debt to the rest of the org because everyone was getting Quantanium for him. So
And there was a bankruptcy, and that was it.
And bankruptcy, yeah. He got evicted from his account. He had to make a new one. Right, let's move on to the meat. I'm going to run a small ad at this point, just as a transition between the two. For anyone who's subscribed, you will hear us nattering to each other about the next part, just to kind of get our thoughts together. But we'll carry on after the ad. Okay.
Yum, yum.
All right. So this isn't in any particular order. It's basically just screenshots. So, yeah, we'll start here. That's just the party system, which is a good one because we can start on the party system we spoke about before.
I don't know. I'll just wait for the.
Yeah, we're not live yet. We don't discuss yet. You gotta wait. Just a second.
Ready.
Villain, calm down.
This is all wrong.
This is the metaphor they often use. I've got to hold you back. I'm like, no, down, villain. Grounding every job for Wicklow Polaris parts. Yeah. Very funny. But yeah, so there's stuff over here about the party system with the different markers.
Hey, Dweeb, sorry I'm late. I missed anything interesting? No, not yet.
I don't know if she can hear you yet.
She missed the beginning of the commercials.
Hey, we're back from the advertisement. Jinx, you missed the ad break. You didn't get to see your horror movie
we can
film
fix this
again.
Right now.
We can run it again just so you can get it. We've just been discussing the org tools in the game currently as they are. We're going to now move on to the org tools, the organization tools in the game that will be added later, as well as the economy. Just because that's essentially how everyone's going to interact with each other, how permission systems for using each other's ships is going to work. So it's very integral to how the game will run in the future. And essentially the aim is to take all the interaction that people currently have on Discord and external sites like UGX, which is the trading website, and try and bring it into the game, which I think is obviously the aim of this, and bring it to modern MMO standards in terms of communication.
Yes.
I can't remember, Jinx, if you play MMOs, actually. Johnny, do you play any other MMOs other than Star Citizen? It is thrilling.
Yes, it is. For us, it's actually one of the most important things ever.
It is like the core. No? He doesn't know if he plays MMOs. Okay. But basically, a lot of what Star Citizen is missing is standard practice in other MMOs, which is the biggest frustration that players have with the current system. Maddie. So at CitizenCon in 2024, they revealed some org tools. Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Maybe we can play the intro and just kind of bring ourselves into it. Does that sound good, guys? And then if we want to review specific parts of it, we can always come back to it. Okay, you should be able to hear this video. If anyone can't hear it, please just comment below. I loved these little transitions. They were really good.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Sure.
1, 2. All right, cool. Okay, so in the Star Engine presentation, that was Benoit. In this one, I am Balt, my player persona. I will now channel my inner Jared in this one, and I will be your host for this panel. Woo! It's time to discuss a social universe. But before we start, I have a couple warnings. First one, let's take a look at this one. I took this in our last technical preview demonstration. And God, I was so happy to see all these people on the train. It's just... The above picture is really nice, other than this guy.
Just skip that. That's not really important.
But it does present a problem. A fundamental part of playing a massively multiplayer online game is how you connect with other players, to join in on adventures, or to receive support when you want to get out of a tricky situation, or you want to participate in endeavors that are bigger than yourself, or simply you want to run a business and make a profit. Well, as our game server shards grow, you will encounter more players. And for that, we need to scale Star Citizen's social tools to MMO size. Our ambition as...
I feel like that little admission of the current state of the communication in the game is exactly the problem. It doesn't scale to MMO-sized communication methods, and you feel it when you play the game. It's just... awkward to use. Now I've noticed that this intro is about 5 minutes long, and I don't want to have it playing for 5 minutes. So I'm just going to have a quick look through the different slides and see if there's anything that I've missed. Yeah, no, this is all kind of useless.
See, you all talking about about org tools. The most important org tool I want right now, it's kind of org bank. That would just make life so much easier.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they even mentioned that. That would be
really
good, though.
Yes. Well, they said org storage, so I was thinking org storage, org bank, same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe just without the money part, but with the storage means...
Yeah,
money.
Right now, an org bank means finding a player in your organization that you trust enough to give all the money in the org to and keep it safe. And that is a lot of trust, because that's a lot of money right now.
When it comes to
that's
org
Gmod.
No,
he's
Gmod and
he just
Monkey
bankrolls everything himself.
Yeah.
But like when we would start, right, if you've got an org bank, I was thinking about taxes for the org as well, so you can set up maybe for like a 1 or 2%, and every time you complete a mission, it just automatically sends it to your org bank, just to try to fuel economy in the org kind of thing at the beginning.
Yeah, well, I know there's going to be an org tax as well that you'll be able to implement. Where you'll be able to, I think it's like a minimum amount, and then you can contribute more if you want to. Yeah. Obviously, people might have mixed feelings, but you can always advertise your org. But let's start with the party system, just because that was the initial conversation about the current system now, and that's kind of where we're going to be kind of building on, really, because there's no org tools available. So, if you look here, this is the new party menu. So you can see online statuses, which is nice. So it's not just online or offline. There are various kind of statuses that you can look at. It has a call button. There's very clearly a call button next to the names. And it has the location of that player live, or how long ago they were online, which actually is a really cool feature. Really like that. Yep. Like, oh, I just missed him. That kind of thing. But it's nice to have that live feedback. It even says here if someone is in Arena Commander, which that's nice as well.
That would be good.
And any calls that you make will be displayed at the bottom of this list. It'll tell you what the call is called, how many people are in it, and you have deafen, mute, and settings functions, which is way more than we have now. At the moment, it's just a Discord.
Yeah,
bringing in Discord into Star Citizen.
I was thinking about this. I kind of want in here, when you're calling like in a group in the game, have something similar to like you've got in squad, so you can split the chats into smaller groups and then have like the leaders connected on yet another chat. That would just make it so much so every ship's got their own chat, and they've got a captain who kind of organizing everything.
Aren't aware of squad, essentially what Villain is alluding to is a hierarchy system, like a radio system. So In the squad, you have the commander, which is the square at the top. You have the captains of each squad. And then you have the squad members under the captains. And essentially, you can press different buttons to speak to captains individually. And those captains are in a chat with their individual squads. And then you also have proximity. So it just means that the commander will most of the time only hear the captains, and the captains most of the time will only hear their squad. But there are buttons that you can press that will link those specific parties to each other, so that if you're in a large-scale battle, you don't want to talk over each other. You can directly speak to individual squads and stratify together. So it's strategized together.
Anything
Sorry, wrong word.
around 7 or 8 people in our org is just getting mental.
Yeah,
so
but
splitting them
this is
more
true.
would be so much easier.
I agree that this is ideally the best approach in Star Citizen because we need that scalability. You are right. We discussed this a little bit earlier, Jinx. It is very basic stuff for MMOs. By modern MMO standards, Star Citizen is very far behind, but that is because when an MMO is being developed, those tools are usually added at the end of the development cycle. And that's due to the fact that it will depend on features in the game. Star Citizen is still missing a lot of basic features that it needs to be a full game. And so the MMO communication methods that you normally see in MMOs aren't available right now. But they are building them in the background and getting them ready for when it's able to be implemented without it being needed to be overhauled too much. Because the issue we've faced over the years in Star Citizen is they add a feature, and then 2 years down the line, they need to completely recreate that feature to fit it in with everything else. So they've left this out for so long for that very reason.
And they never mentioned this, and that's kind of one thing when the communication thing worries me. We really need that kind of thing in the game.
Yes, desperately. I don't know if this squad method of communication will be added. It may be that you can have several parties open and switch between them.
I'd be okay with what we're seeing right here. Just being updated to something that looks more like this. Because we still have like the old layout of the party system.
See, but if they're redoing it, I want them to do it right. And not 2 years later do it again.
Exactly, yeah.
No, but if you look in all our social tools that we currently have, the only one that's still old school way is the party system, the comms. All the other ones have been updated with like this little half circle look and have been touched up a bit. The contract menu, the health menu, the vehicle. I think the vehicle menu got touched up a bit.
No, you mean the one where you look at the different vehicles you have at a station?
No, the repair station.
Repair thing.
Oh, the repair, yeah.
Its visuals at least updated. Like at least if we get like this visual update on how our party looks, I think it'd be a little bit better with working. There's a couple other things too, but it's like it's still like in that old code is what I'm trying to really get at. Yeah. Still has like the old code from the old days.
I do
to be updated.
I do agree with Villain that the squad method would work best for large org events, and I do hope they implement something like it. I don't think it will be exactly the same.
It doesn't need to be, but something along that line would be great.
If you could have a party call where within that party call you could open sub-parties, that would be really good. Because then at least they can be self-contained and you could have this channel system where you could communicate via voice and not have everyone speak over each other. You can also leave notes so that if someone has several accounts, you can say, oh, this is Ben's alt account, this is Chris's alt account. Maddie hasn't touched this account in 10 years or something like that. So you can kind of keep a note of whether they're actually active in the game. Or if you made a promise to someone, you could even leave a note saying, Villain owes me 10 million for the Contanium that he...
Okay, actually, technically I can pay you. It's fine. I've got money. Before the wipe, it's fine.
Yeah.
Villain never pays his debts.
It's like the opposite of a Lannister. A villain never pays his debts. You can also favorite people as well. So I assume you'll be able to filter your favorites out from the entire list, or they'll just pin at the top like this. But you are right, Jinx. These are very basic features, and we've been waiting for them for a long time.
Let me check my invisible watch. Yeah.
This will be an important list because you can either block players, which you can't do now. Yay. Or you can mark them as hostiles, which will be a kill on sight target for you and your org. You can also leave notes, as before, to say why you've blocked them or why they're hostile.
How many people list do you think you're going to be on, Villain?
I'll come in the game as a default red thing. Probably.
Yeah, comes as standard.
I like the whole idea of this, right? But I don't know if you're still gonna get crime stat if you like kill a red player.
I'll get to that later. But yeah.
Maybe. Don't know how they're gonna do it.
But yes, you will still get a crime stat. Just because it's marked as a hostile for you doesn't mean that it won't be a crime stat if you kill them. But they have taken that into consideration. So I'll show you that in a moment. But yeah, I think this is a really cool system. I do think blocking can become abused at some point. So hopefully they have some fail safes for that. But unfortunately, it's your choice if you block someone, of course. I can imagine that will cause some tension in some organizations.
See, the only thing I'm kind of missing here, right? It would be kind of rep of a player itself. So kind of like you give them a positive, negative, which they turn them to red, or keep them neutral. And you've got like a score next to them. This player is 74% trustworthy, something along that line. Yeah.
Right here.
That would be the best
right
thing.
Here. That's already in. They've got that. They've taken that into account. But yeah, no, that's there. Yeah. So you can rate them by trustworthy in different departments: repair, rearm, personal transit, escort, towing, medical. So they have taken that into account. But yeah, that would be good. You are right. It's just not on this menu. So are you saying you'd like to see it on here?
Yeah.
As an overall player rating? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like overall, because that one is specific for like branches.
That one's
stuff,
split
right?
into different things.
Yeah, and I want just have it like overall. You through a glance, you can just see it if it's someone you want to play with or not really, or it's gonna go poorly.
Yeah, I suppose. But I think if you've already blocked them, if you've already blocked that player, you're not going to need a rating system.
I'm curious to see how the blocking's going to work. Is it going to be more like on a level instance thing so that you don't get paired in with that person?
You won't be able to communicate or see their messages, but it doesn't necessarily mean you won't be in the same server.
Okay.
Yeah, they said that specifically on the video. So you won't be able to communicate. They won't be able to communicate with you. You will still be able to be put onto the same server.
Just write your messages on the bullets. It's fine. Yeah, and just send them over.
Right. So what's this one? Need to remember. Okay, this is your party members. So you can actually look at your party individually. Members. This. Okay, so these are different parties. So I might actually have the party split.
Ooh.
You've also got a ready check, which is nice. If you're not on voice chat, and you want to all click as ready. It has that functionality, which is nice. It also tells you the ship that your party's on, who is on that ship, and what seat they are in on that ship.
See, when they're doing all of this, what I would love, right? When people on your party, multiple people, let's say they go on, let's say, I don't know, Polaris or something, all their markers disappear and shows friendly Polaris with name, whatever. And all other markers are gone. That would be so good.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. You mean so you don't have as much clutter? You have those blue arrows on the outside of your screen.
Yeah.
Because they're overlapping on each other. You cannot read them anyway. And like, there's no point for it.
Yeah,
I think they're really going to work heavy on the distance field of nameplates and party names and stuff like that. I do feel like something like that will be in place, like when a bunch of people are on a ship and stuff like that. I feel like you'll just see the name of the ship more than like if it's a capital ship, it'd be the SS Banana.
Well, I think my Idris is called Big Duck Energy. So that's
okay. So there you go. You just see Big Duck Energy flying by, but it'll be filled with people inside, you know.
Yeah.
And until you get close enough inside, where you see all the markers of the like people's names. Like I think names should only be like in view distance, you know, like when you're in a party. If you can actually see them with your eyes.
Yeah, if
but
you're on the same ship.
If not, you see like that little triangle like we get. And then after a certain distance, if you're not even on the ship, you can't see the triangle, but you see like the triangle of the ship that it's your party, you know?
Yeah.
Something in that sense.
Yeah.
They do need to clean the UI up. That's definitely something they need to work on. Whether that's grouping into one marker at a distance and then splitting as you get closer and then naming as you get even closer, or other methods like needing to FPS scan for your party markers to come up. Something along those lines. I'm not saying what it should or shouldn't be, but something along those lines would be good, just to make sure you can read the party markers.
Essential to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do like this idea that you can look in as the captain of a ship, look in your mobi glass and see what seats are filled. If someone's in a turret, how many turrets you have, who is on the engineering console. I don't know if that would count as a seat, but as a for instance. I think it's really useful because you can kind of get a live update on how well equipped your ship is for any combat encounter. If I'm going into a fight and I'm on my Idris and I have 10 people on board, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to make sure that we're all ready. Okay, I can see I only have 2 turrets. I need 4 more people. Can you please get on a turret? You know, it's nice to have that feedback.
Yeah, seeing this little menu here, like, makes me really think we're gonna get, when this comes in, are we gonna get like multi-crew ship bed logging again, like we used to have?
Yeah. What I wanted to see is, I think I've discussed this with a few people before, with the bed logging system, is when you're in the main menu, I would love to have 3 or 4 spawn options, right? So you have 4 slots. You have one at the top, which is your
home base, yeah.
Just your spawn into the verse, you'll spawn into a hab at your closest station, right? But maybe in a previous session, I have been on Villain's ship, and I've been on Maddie's ship, and I've been on Dr. Entropy's ship. So this one will say Redeemer, Dr. Entropy, offline. So I know I can't log back into that bed because that crew slot is offline. That ship is not being used. So it either says offline or not in use. So maybe that ship is not in use and I can't log on to that ship. But maybe I was on a hammerhead with Maddie. Maddie, we do like a regular hammerhead run on Friday nights. And I want to come back and the crew logs in on the ship. Hammerhead, Maddie, online, in use. Log in. Maddie's already flying the ship. I log in, I appear on the ship, and I fill my crew slot like I would if I was, sleeping on a naval boat. I woke up and just continue with my duties. Having a system like that would be amazing, because then you can have the option of logging into your ship or logging in at a hab.
And they could have just do the limitation on it. You can do it as many beds you've got on the ship. So if you do like 8, you can get 8 people like that in, and anything more, you would need just come in normally.
I think as well, a limitation you could put in is if you've logged into one of them, to prevent fast traveling, you have a 10-minute log wait. So you can't just say, oh, I want to get to Stanton. I know Maddie's in Stanton. I'm in Pyro. I'll just log off and loop back round.
I think 10 minutes might be too long.
Do you guys
as an example? Sorry,
when we got the medical. When we got the medical gel update, right?
Yeah.
You guys remember the respawn picture?
Oh yeah, they mentioned something similar, but I don't think they mentioned
literally
specifically
with,
this.
literally what you guys were just saying. I'm looking at the picture right now. There's like an imprint cooldown, and it like gives you a couple different locations you could choose from: vehicle name, base name, hospital name, temporary, medical rescue. And some say regenerate. It could be something like that, in that sense.
Yeah,
Like where in the main menu it'll say like regenerate on at home base or on
well,
the
you wouldn't really
back
be
at not regenerate,
regenerating.
but like spawn at
Well,
the vehicle. In that
yeah,
sense, because I can see them incorporating what they have here in this picture. I'm trying to get the picture into here.
I just had the idea. See,
but
using
that's
this
essentially what I've just been saying, Maddie, is to have crew slots, like 3 crew slots and a main slot, so that you can log back into vehicles at any time, as long as that vehicle is online and in use. Sorry, Villain, go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking, because I was just thinking about the respawn sort of thing, for just logging like this, just so instead of doing like 10 minutes you sit, something like that, it should be a resource maybe on the ship, which you, if you spawn in, then it consumes it to just make sure people just don't abuse it.
I strongly disagree with that.
No, so the reason for it is because you would be able to like, you die on the ship, you log out, you log back in, kind of thing. And you can just keep on doing over and over, right? With no repercussion.
Well, no, I
it
think
would take you a little bit of time.
No, I think if you die, when you log back in, you regen at a station as normal. Even if you
and
go
then
back
you
to
can log out to
slot.
menus and log back into the game and go log on the ship again.
No, because the game will register that you died. It will spawn you on that slot at the nearest station, regardless of whether you log out. But I don't think a resource for logging in on the ship is I wouldn't agree with that. Just because, in actual fact, all your character did was sleep on the ship. I just think if you end up dying on that ship will explode, or you'll get killed on the ship. So if the ship explodes, that crew slot is deleted because that instance of the ship is gone. And if you die and the ship is not destroyed, the game says, "Oh, you died." So that character in that crew slot is at the hospital, so you're no longer at that ship.
So it's a different situation. Like, let's say you landed the ship something and you're doing bunker, you died, you respawning in Lorville, whatever, you respawn, you log out to main menu, and you log in back into menu and select the ship again, which you're gonna spawn wherever you are.
Maybe in that instance you need to rebind yourself to the ship by logging off in the bed for it to be a crew slot. So maybe if you die, the crew slot gets deleted.
Maybe they would need to have some kind of limitation to avoid.
I'll put the picture right up here on the hand side for you, Mormon. Like kind of how I feel they would do something in the main menu. It'd be something like that. And if you even zoom into
well, yeah, this is essentially what I just did. I just use squares to represent it, but just where you've logged out and where you need to log back in. But yeah, this is essentially what I was saying.
This would save a lot of time for people who jumping into the game.
Yeah,
but they just need to do it right.
Yeah, they do need limitations. I agree. Whether that's deleting the crew slot if you die, and you need to rebind to the ship to get that crew slot back, or I don't think there should be like an in-game currency to wake up on a ship. I don't agree with that. That would irritate me.
If you look at the temporary one, it says medical gel respawn cost 10 out of 40.
Yeah, they're going to be using med gel for, it looks like, for this.
But then, for respawning. But
yes, but this limits only spawns only on medical beds.
Logging back in a bed, I just feel like if the ship is available, or if you have permissions, let's say Mormon gave me permissions for his Carrick, and I logged off of it, and he's not online. If I have permissions on the ship and I log back in, it'll spawn his ship for me with me on it.
Yes.
And all the items and everything. That's how I hope it works. I hope it works and functions in that way, so that as long as you were given the permission for whatever it is, the ship or the vehicle, you're able to have access back to that vehicle. Because that was the problem when we had it enabled in game. If the person wasn't online and you tried to log back in, you got an infinite loading screen loop, and the only way you would be able to fix that is by resetting your character and getting a character reset. So
yeah, I do agree with both of you in part. Like, the permission system is definitely something that should be taken into consideration. So if I loan Maddie my ship, he should be able to log onto the game and get into my ship, and that should be fine. In terms of the login on bed logs, I agree with Villain that there should be a limitation on the login, so it can't just be abused. So I think it's kind of a mesh of the two. So it should be, if you die and you regen at a hospital, that breaks your crew slot. And to reestablish that crew slot on that ship, I'm not talking about permissions at the moment, Maddie, so stick with me. This is just the login part. So if you die, that crew slot disappears from the menu, and to reestablish it, you need to log off back on that ship.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, so I think that'd be a good limitation. For the permission system, it needs to have some form of limitation. Where maybe if that instance of the ship dies or you die, then the crew slot breaks, and your connection with that instance of the ship breaks. But if you were to find that ship, you could get back onto it, and again, that connection would reestablish because you have permissions for that ship. But there needs to be some fail-safes involved to make sure that it can't be abused, like Villain said.
Could be locking the permissions to the bed. You know, like you gave someone permissions to bed number 7. You know, if it's on like a Idris or a Polaris, because they got a bunch of beds, then you can only give one person permissions to like one bed if it's your ship that you're giving permissions out to.
Specific bed assignments.
You can't have like 200 people all on the bed in one ship that can only hold.
You're being chased down by another org, and you just get onto the local VC, and you're like, you can't take me, I shall raise my army, and you just get these 200 players just logging into the bed system. So there needs to be a balance between the permission system and the login system where there are the limits. This is just theory crafting. This is definitely not something they have planned for the login. I just hope they do, because it would just make sense. They have multiple characters, I know that, and in a sense that would work, but I don't know if you'll be able to log into a ship on those slots. But the permission system definitely needs some work.
I think we sidetracked a little bit from
what this is what this is for, Villain, is to take what's promised and kind of theory craft on top of it. So it's fine. It doesn't matter if we get sidetracked a little bit. But that all kind of came off the party system and the blocking system. There's a little bit more involved in the chat and the friends and party feature. So one of which is this is the full party menu, including everything we've discussed so far. So your party list, block lists, and adding notifications as well as here. Your party phone call. Members of the party, and then the ships. Is that part of the party, or is that? Yeah, this is the party. So the members, the ships, and where people are on those ships, as well as the status, I guess. So that's pretty useful tools to be using. A big game changer, and yes, this is definitely something you see in modern MMOs. Very late having this. Is advertising parties, which would be amazing. Because I don't like randos, personally. So if I'm going to join a random party in the universe, I want to see what they're doing. I want to see who they are. I want to see if my org has a rivalry with them, so I don't join the enemy.
He wants to know the shoe size and national insurance number.
I want to know everything. Everything. How many children, if they have a wife, a husband. I want to know where they were born, what time they get up from bed. No, it's just nice to have this information. Being a little bit private myself, I don't like joining randos without any information in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Villain nearly shoots on sight every time. Like, we picked that random guy up in space and you're like, kill him! I was like, no, he's being nice.
No,
just killed him. So, see, that's why I was saying if you could have a small number of like a quality of your playthrough, like I mentioned, with a positive, negative thing, and next to the names you can see, those guys are like over 90s, right? So you are okay, cool. This kind of feels like a safe place to jump in, maybe safer, or just you have a little bit smidgen of kind of inkling, or you can see guys 30 or something. Okay, you're thinking they're going to be pirating or something along that line.
Well, if you look here, So it tells you, I've kind of blocked part of the UI there, the current amount of players in the party, the max amount they've advertised, so we don't want any more than 8, and how many applications to the party are currently pending. That's kind of like a little bit about that. And how many ships are in the party, which is really cool. So, like you say, Villain, if you're not in the mood to deal with like a social credit score, yeah, Villain subscribes to the Chinese system. Confirmed here on the podcast.
It's only in the verse, but I think Lorville could do with social credits. It's a Lorville thing to do.
Yeah. I do see the benefit of a player rating system, but that can be abused. I do think it should remain split, like into the specific areas. So at least you know, oh, this guy's a good mercenary, but he's a terrible medic. He just loots the people he goes to save, you know. But I think an overall player rating could backfire quite easily. Because you could review bomb that player as just a person.
but that's gonna happen in here anyway.
Yeah, but at least if it's split into several things, the people that are gonna review bomb, you would have to take the time to go through every single one.
Yeah, that's even worse, because they can, if you've got malicious 10 guys instead of have only 10 negative, you're gonna have like 500 negative.
Yeah, but if I'm looking for a medic and I look at his rating and I see his medic rating is 10, but his player rating is 0, I'm not gonna want to hire that medic, even if his medic score is high. So I think I understand where you're coming from with it, but I don't think it would work out very well. At least the only thing he. What? At least you'd only think he... Jinx?
Oh, shit,
please help me. Okay. At least you'd only think he was shit medic, not an overall twat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you split it off, yeah, he's a terrible medic, but maybe he's not the worst player in the world, I guess. But that's assuming they only abuse the medic side. They'd probably just...
Exactly. They would abuse everything.
They'd abuse the player rating. I think having it split is a bit safer, but I see the advantages to what you're saying, definitely. It also displays the contract and location as well. Villain's going to get a lot of denied.
Why are you picking on me for no reason?
Your name is Villain. Your name is Villain.
Part-time.
Yeah, you should change it. Right, so here is a basic MMO tool, which will be amazing to have. And that is just a functional chat window that has multiple purposes. And slash commands as well to make it easier to switch between party, global, and direct message, which are displayed down here. The idea is you would type in /p, and whatever party you're in, the message would then direct to the party. If I wanted to message Maddie, I'd do /DM Maddie Sockers, and it would switch to messaging him specifically, and I just type my message out. They're really, really useful tools. You'll also have the ability to adjust the box, how it appears on the screen. You have different tabs, and you'll have the ability to link specific things like trading, missions, locations, and people. So, all very basic MMO features that are missing from the game.
We're getting them soon, boys.
Getting them soon. Can you do dance to do something? Or are you guys not that advanced yet?
You could do the emote in the radio menu to do dancing and.
We've got a chicken dance. Yeah. We were actually filming last night. I can get that out right now. You wanna see Villain dance? I'll get it out.
I'll
Villain, you can do the dance live. Where is it? I can't see. I think this is it. You're about to see one of the emotes in the game currently. There he is. There's Villain. Look at him go. Doing the chicken dance. Are you happy? There's your emote. There's your chicken dance. But yeah, you can
from real life.
You can emote in the game, but the way you emote is a little awkward. You have to go into the chat. I'm whelmed. Well, you gotta realize this is not Fortnite, so we're not gonna have like these rodeo dances and things like that. It's never gonna be on that level.
I would give them a little bit of time. If they can monetize it, you will see them coming out every month.
WoW has sick dances, but this ain't WoW. This is meant to be a little bit more serious. So I can't see them going to the point where they've got these crazy emotes. Maybe they will, and I will be very sad. But
I can flick someone off.
I can imagine just getting the skins starting showing up like Flintstones or Simpsons, stuff like that.
Oh no!
My favorite one is the point and laugh. They just point at you and I laugh at you.
I'd just be horrified if I logged into the game one day, and it was just a carrot, but like it was just a decal of Big Bird on the outside of it. Horrified. I understand that would bring it into line with modern games, Jinx, but I just really hope they don't go too far into it because it just wouldn't.
I want a refund.
It wouldn't be in line with the spirit of the game, and I think a lot of players would be hurt. They were deeply pained by those kinds of things. But there are emotes. They're not like crazy wild emotes like you find in a lot of modern games these days, but they are there. You just have to do a / and type in a command and it will do them.
The depression in the game, it's by design. It's a feature.
Yeah. It's an experience. It's just,
You've seen us how much fun we had trying to do one mission for 6 hours. It was great time.
I mean, it was fun. Not in the way that CIG intended, but it was fun. Especially for Jinx, because she got to mock us, mainly me. Right, so this is something I'd say is relatively unique to Star Citizen in terms of communicating with people. It's not really part of the org tools, but I thought it was worth a mention because the technology behind it is very cool. In fact, I will get the video of this up just to show it in action.
Yes, and it's useless.
It's not.
I wouldn't say
it's not useless. It's
it
serves a different purpose.
All the time.
It's for people who make features, not machinimas and things like that.
Yeah, content. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not useless. It's a specific feature for a specific purpose. I keep scrolling by mistake.
I would prefer them to spend all this like resources on this into something else, and then maybe add this later on.
What are you talking about? This is so you don't have to spend $200 or $400 on Toby.
You just became a cliche. You realize that. That's not how game development works. It's not a set amount of resources and then this takes out of that pool. They have specific teams that develop specific parts of the game alongside each other. So it's not a question of
hire this guy.
It's not
just hire a different guy.
It's not a question of they're pouring all the resources into this. This probably takes a very small team of maybe 2 to 4 people and they work on this specific thing. So I don't think this harms the development of the game at all. And the fact this took so long to develop to this stage probably means they left it on the side for a while, focused on other things, and came back to it when they had time in the schedule.
I think this was very important when they've been doing motion capture for Squadron.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we already got Libet. Let's just make it into the...
No, I would disagree. This uses a completely different approach than motion cap. These aren't dots you put on your face. This assigns the dots virtually, whereas in mocap you put the dots on so you don't need to worry about this, and they're more accurate on mocap. They wouldn't have used this for the mocap in the game. You need physical reference points on the face for mocap.
Very similar tech-ish.
Well, you're right. It uses the same idea, marking facial features and using those markers to track the face. But here it's done digitally, which is less accurate than how they actually motion capture, which is by putting physical dots on the face and tracking those dots so that it's extremely accurate. This is much less accurate and is very dependent on light source and tracking depth of the face and things like that. So it is different how it's done. but with the same. Yeah, a little bit like a VTuber, but a little bit more advanced. Let's play the video. You'll be able to see how it works in just a moment. But essentially, yes, Jinx, it's like that.
Improvements to the quality of the tracking in game.
Just a VTuber.
That sounds awesome. Can you tell everyone what you've done to improve it?
Well, we started off by looking at what we originally had, and we realized that some mouth poses were really difficult to pull. So we focused on improving the range of motion of the mouth, which now looks like this. Hopefully, you can see there's more of a one-to-one relationship with what's going on in my webcam, and this has helped some of those problematic poses we were seeing before, one of which being a closed-lipped smile, which was quite difficult to achieve previously. We've also started to add in secondary motions that happen naturally when pulling combination face shapes, like squinting in the eyes when smiling.
Just to say, you can really tell this man is over-emoting just to make sure that the camera's picking it up. He's like really moving his mouth like this to make sure.
Can you imagine
He's really pronouncing the word?
Yeah.
Can you imagine sitting to playing Star Citizen? Sorry, guys, we're gonna do the. And you need to put my dots in first before we play.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the physical dots on my face. Yeah,
I couldn't do it. I got a mustache. So.
Just draw them onto your mustache. It's fine. Tipex. You've got it. There you go.
Frowning. And when we combine these secondary motions with the wrinkle maps,
Imagine if
it really goes to show just how much work has gone into these heads.
On yours, you're like,
Let's see how many wrinkle maps we can trigger, huh?
That's impressive.
I have used this. I do
And
currently
finally,
use this
one
all
other
the time.
thing we
It
noticed
does work
was the
really
tracking
well.
quality
The
could
only
be
thing
quite noisy in
that
environments where the lighting
kind of
is
hard
less
to
than
use
ideal.
is the mouth motion, because you do have to talk the way he's talking to make it work that way.
It's also very dependent on where your camera is placed and the angle at which you sit. Because
Yes,
I used to
you
have
want
my
a-
chair much
you want a
lower than it
down
is right
angle.
now. And it used to struggle to pick up my eyes being open, so my character would walk around with closed eyes.
Because you want it kind of like in an angle that's downward like this more, so it's picking up your face from here than a top-down angle like this.
Well, when I was
Because
too
when you
low,
look down,
it
it's
needs
going to
be-
make the tracking go away. That's like the problem I have when my camera's
Yeah.
up here.
It needs to be kind
Usually
of
when I use it, I switch it down low.
maybe a 15-degree angle to your face to have the best tracking. I'm just kind of like doing a little dance on screen right now. You did a little bob there, Maddie. But this is really impressive. And as Villain said, this is not the most useful tool in terms of org tools and things like that. It's kind of like a little feature they have for people who make videos on the game. It's really cool.
And also to show when I'm mad at Villain. So I can show
Don't
my
worry, I never
expressions
look
on
at
my
that. It's fine.
face.
Yeah. But I'm sure there are other games that have done things like this, but this is the most advanced version of it I've seen. And the fact they have wrinkle mapping in the game is crazy. I don't know if they've implemented this version of it yet. I think they were still developing this
Yes.
particular
The
version of
wrinkle
it.
mapping is in, yes.
It is
This
in.
is actually in the game.
Okay.
Mhm.
In that case, it still needs improvement because it doesn't track my face very well. Maybe I just have Lego Man syndrome where my face is so generic that the camera struggles to identify me as a human being. That's probably what it is. But I just think that's really impressive, and I hope they keep developing it just because it's a nice, fun little thing. Can you imagine just meeting a random player in the verse where you both have cameras and you can really just see the other person's face and have them emote as they are in real life? I mean, Villain wouldn't be interested. He'd just walk away, but I would be.
I would just shoot them. That'll be it.
Show me
be
how
like,
you feel
"Hi."
now, bitch.
Oh, and just I see what you're saying. So when they're lying down and you're just laughing at them, so they see how you're laughing at. I see.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can
Now
emote
there's,
that to them.
laugh
But he's
in
on
their
board
face.
now.
It now.
He's on board now. He's
Now
like,
he
now he
wants to
can
do
mock
it.
them. Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it was worth a mention. Because it is an impressive piece of technology. Right,
It
let's
is.
move on to this. I thought this was really cool. This is kind of all connected. The guide system. This is a system they currently have that's only on Spectrum. And it's where you can message out to people who are registered as guides and help new players get involved in the verse. They're going to be bringing that into the game, so you can access that directly. And they'll also have individual missions within each guide section that you can complete in order to practice. So it has missions for the guide tile, and you can also have a specific player show you how to play the game. I think it's a really good addition. Definitely worth adding. I don't know if you guys have ever used the guide system.
No.
No?
I trained the guys. This is a rifle. There's a front. Go.
I am the guide.
I am the guide. I did sign up as a guide.
When it comes to mine.
For a while. It was a nice experience. Most people are pretty friendly. But it was just time consuming.
Yep.
I was like, I just want to enjoy the game. But this is tied in with the rating system as well. So
I might do it for mining when it comes back in. Like
I think it'd be
a
a good guide for mining. That'd be something good for you. So the rating system is connected to what you were talking about earlier, the overall player rating system. This is individual tasks. And there's a filter over here to create certain types of beacons. So you can ask for guidance from people and send off a guide beacon. Or you can send off a service beacon where you maybe need transport or a medic or a mercenary for escorts and things like that. And then here is your rating. And when you select players, so this is actually a customer rating. That just dawned on me. So how often does villain lay a trap? I imagine it will look like this medical rating down here, minus 1,000.
Yep. Minus 1,000.
Every time this guy's asked for help, he's murked the medic that's come in.
Yeah. I'm not going to participate in this. I'm just going
to... But I imagine when you select a player to help you, there'll be a similar rating system that you can view for their particular rating, like player profiles even. There's not really much more to say on that. I think that's pretty straightforward. But do you guys have any thoughts you want to share?
I just can't wait for it to come back. I used to have a really good beacon rating. When that was an actual rep, I had my rep all the way maxed out with it. I miss it. I used to like doing the missions and picking up. It was a cool way to meet players too. And actually it was like a cool way to have like dynamic missions. Like you never know what a player got into and he needed to be rescued. And then when you get there, you're over there cleaning up their mess. Whatever it may be, like some guy jumped down of his ship mid-quantum and I had to figure out how to quantum jump to his ship by jumping out of quantum between quantum jumps. And then like he paid me like a million. So like after that, I was like, oh, I'll always help people after this.
Yeah.
That's the easiest meal I ever made.
I do miss service beacons. They were really cool. They're like emergent gameplay, which we just don't really have now. We have sandbox gameplay, which is fine, but it's not quite the same. It doesn't have the same feel. I don't know if you would agree with that statement, but it lacks.
With the service beacons, they were not really worth the time because like 50,000 you made it or something like that. What I'm thinking, what they should do when you create a beacon, the 50,000 comes from like a game, so they're gonna 50,000, and you as a player can top up. Okay, I need this get done like now. I need them to pick me up now, and you put another 100,000 in it, right, to like entice more people to come in.
It's kind of what players did.
Villain, are you not looking at the screen right now? That's exactly listed here. Paid by Inseller Guild, paid by you, total payout. It's split
I should probably read this stuff sometimes.
You should probably look at this before you start speaking. You are describing the screen right now. That's quite funny.
On the same wavelength.
You've done that like 3 times this podcast as well. It's quite funny. It's like, it's right here.
No, they copied my ideas.
They copied you. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Right. So here's the big one. This is where all those smaller tools, all those smaller features of the whole come into play. And that is organizations, guilds, and factions, and how they all interact with each other. So all the smaller tools we've discussed so far, and maybe excluding the FOIP, the face tracking, will kind of come into this. So you will be able to have 5 orgs in total, which we can look up here. You can only represent one of the orgs at a time, which will be this top one marked by the green diamond, and you'll have 4 other orgs that you can be a member of. There'll be a recruitment area where you can request to join orgs, and there'll be a filter where you can kind of filter the kind of org you want. But the idea is that you don't necessarily need to contribute only to one org. You can have several. You can probably run your own org whilst being a member of a larger org. That's perfectly fine. And the org can affiliate with one guild, whether that's the trading guild, the mercenary guild, the council, or whatever. And there'll be certain factions within the game that are aligned with that guild that you can do missions for. Some of those factions may be lawful, and some of them may be unlawful. Before we carry on, any thoughts?
I like the kind of market for the orgs thing instead of doing it externally. That's kind of cool. It's easier to find the org you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, inside the game. Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch.
And I think, as we discussed at the beginning, I think the eventual aim is that eventually, when the game is complete, they're trying to bring all this external activity from players off Discord, off UGX, and trying to bring it all into the game so that you don't have this disconnect from in-game experience and having to alt-tab, type on Discord, join the VC, or go on UGX. It breaks the immersion that they're aiming for. So I think the eventual goal is to try and
keep you immersed all in Star Citizen all at once with all these different things that you can do.
Reduce the amount of time someone has to alt-tab to do things, which I think is a great goal. I still think people will. I still think people will do that. There will be people who will prefer Discord, and that's fine. But I think the aim is admirable. The eventual goal is really good. So this is when you are part of an org. This will be the org's name, the one you're representing. You can switch your represented org at any time and maintain the progress within that org. And
I think,
your contributions.
If I'm not mistaken, the only thing that gets reset is your personal loyalty.
No, the loyalty, the personal loyalty to the org, that's what that's for. That stays the same. So if I listened to this section on the video before the podcast. They specifically said the personal loyalty, the progression for the org, it'll only progress the one you're representing at the time. But if you switch your representing org, it will just freeze in place, switch out with the other org you're now representing, but you'll pick up where you left off.
Okay, that's good.
On the loyalty. The one that will reset is the org alignment. So your personal progression with the org alignment, that will reset. I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen. You guys can't see what I'm pointing at.
Oh, no, we totally see it. See what you're looking at.
The org alignment's here. So this is what will reset for you personally. Thank you. But your loyalty to the org gets frozen and picks up where you left up when you re-represent that org, which is great, which is nice, because it just means that
it needs to be a negative if you flop in between
the negative is you lose the progression with the guild.
Yeah.
So there is a negative, but the loyalty to the org isn't a, which is good.
Okay, I'm gonna mark how long you've been at 50%.
Yeah, and if you look here,
Dylan's been at 50% for 3 weeks. Get that loyalty up, boy.
Dylan sucks. If you look here, it looks like the org can set milestones in the loyalty, which I think is really cool. So as org leaders, we could set at 25% loyalty, you get 3% contract payouts. Then maybe at 50% you get 5%, and at 75 you get 10%. And so the more loyalty you show to an org, the more passive income you end up receiving from the org. That's really cool.
First reward at 25%. You're gonna pay us 3% tax now. Congratulations.
At 75%, you get one free arc light pistol with half a magazine.
With half a magazine.
It will cost you only 20,000.
And you get a 10% discount on the remaining ammo. Yeah. So I think this is really cool. You also get your announcements for your org information. I think that's like rules and description, and then events. So no longer will we need to just make an event in Discord, but there will be a way to make events in game, which I think will be really cool. It's essentially like lining up your army ready for something, but in game, and it will be displayed on the calendar. There will be a calendar. It's going to be amazing. Whether that calendar will work is another question entirely. Yeah, exactly.
I really like that.
And in-game and out-of-game events as well. It even shows CitizenCon. I assume that will be a real thing. So, but yeah. Down here, we have the org list, the rank. Maybe the permission system will use ranks rather than names. So anyone of initiate can't access any ship larger than, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going to touch base on there. Section.
Well,
I like that they went towards the rank.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. You can also leave notes. So master crafter, miner, just so that as a leader, you can say, okay, well, I need this done this week. Who can I contact in the org to take care of it? I need Johnny, if you're still here, to obtain this much Quantanium because Maddie needs to craft this by the end of the week. So Johnny will bring the Quantanium in. When he's brought the Quantanium, I message Maddie and say, okay, no chance.
Butter, help me though. You got to help me, Butters.
Butterballs. And then I say, okay, Maddie, I've got the Quantanium. Johnny's been paid. Here's the material you need to craft your new spirit. Maddie crafts the spirit, and the org member in the org who needs the spirit pays Maddie for the spirit, and Maddie gets paid by the org for crafting. Something like that, but you can kind of see where I'm going with it. So it kind of creates this initiative for the org leaders to contact specific players.
I don't have any confidence to do that.
You'll hand the Quantanium over to Maddie for the
Maddie,
crafting.
You gave me a crash
and he'll
course
just spit on him and be like, you call this Quantanium? What is
Go
this?
ready to go.
Tier 0? Ugh. Terrible.
You survived my crash course. You'll survive Quantanium mining.
Right, but yeah, I think that's really cool. I think you'll also have org tags that will appear next to your name. You see the BFB here.
Yeah.
Right, this comes to what you were talking about earlier, Pirate. Although I bought the Star Lancer to do that mining thing the way you done it. I don't know. Oh, I see. You to have a cargo ship alongside. Yeah, Maddie likes to do that. You have the M50, don't you, Maddie, to get to and from your ship? Your Star Lancer.
Yes, I have the Razor, yes.
No, the Razor.
Mm-hmm.
Odds on the ship. Yeah. The Hermes is really going to be really good for that, Johnny. We were discussing that earlier. So if you wanted a ship alongside your mining ship, when the Hermes becomes an in-game ship, that might be something to look into.
Yeah, see if you could fit a Razor in there or something small in there, and that actually would be a perfect ship.
I don't know if you'd be able to fit any ships in there. You can't even fit an Ursa in the Hermes, I'm afraid. So that would be a limitation. Right, so this is to do with your neutral players, your party members, things like that, and how they show up. Here's how they will be marked, which looks a little bit different. You'll have your org tag and the name as well as the distance. And the colors mean the following. White will be neutral, meaning you've not really had any kind of interaction with that player to have any kind of reputation with them. So they're just a random player. Blue is a member of your party, not necessarily a part of your org. Org will be dark green. An allied org will be a pale green. A rival org will be red. Your kill list, which is your kill on site list, so any hostile players you've listed, will be red if they're lawful to kill. So you won't get a crime stat from it, because you mentioned this earlier, Willem. And orange if they are a rival on your kill list, but in the current area or you're in, it would be unlawful to kill them.
They'll kill you on sight.
You'll get a crime set. So this is your kill on sight list, but the look of it will differ depending on the legal ramifications of your actions, villain. So be ye careful, or thou shalt go to prison.
It's gonna be fine, don't worry. I've got a good lawyer.
Okay, here's your permission system. Yeah, so it is going to be using the ranking. Officer has permission for these things. You got your allied orgs, so you can have orgs that you're friendly with, you trade with, you fight with, you die with.
As you see, he can't do anything with recruitment or the org. He can't touch the org emblem section of the org. But he has like other accessibilities. I really hope that permission list is very in depth to me. I hope we can like set certain things like who has access to the mining extractors or the refinery, or who has access to this part of the org base, or whatever it may be in that sense.
Yeah.
I hope you can set it that way.
What I hope for is I think the ranking system for permissions for the org in total should be fine for the general use case. But I also hope on an individual ship basis you can assign permissions by name.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The other thing I would like to see are logs for everything. If someone crafts something, there is a log. Or that person crafted
it's right there.
I think
event logs.
There will be logs.
Yeah.
No, if you look right up above.
Cynics has crafted P4AR. CIG Fujin has earned. You're doing it again, villain. Do I just need to highlight all the things?
Yes.
And just put a label
there.
Saying,
you missed it. You missed
I mentioned
it
it earlier.
Villain, here, look, big red horrible box drawn by me.
Too small of a box. I need a bigger box.
It's nice to know you're on the same wavelength anyway, villain. I think you just take this information in through osmosis, and you're just unaware that it's there, and then your brain just regurgitates it later. It's funny. Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
So mean.
But yeah, but that that is there. We'll log things that people have done. Okay,
I think that was the best thing I saw. One of the best things I saw was the event logs. That's always needed in any org tool type of thing to see.
Yeah. So I think that is everything that I had on this board to discuss. Does anyone in chat have anything that they saw in the CitizenCon regarding org tools that they want to mention, or any big features that you really want to see that we haven't talked about?
Yeah. Give us your thoughts. Tell us how you feel about it. What you kind of hope to see when we get these tools into the game. Mine is a really good setup on the permission. Just the ability to set who has access to what when it comes to your ship or your base.
Yeah. I just want there to be a robust system. Like, even if it wasn't as in depth as this, as long as the system worked, I would be happy with that, at least for the time being. I just want it to work. Really. Yes. I do like the markers.
You can get one. You can get it, or you will one. You can get both.
That's fair. Right. So the next section we're going to move on to, we'll keep out for any comments in the chat on org tools in case we missed them now. We're going to move on to the economy next. We're going to have a quick ad break, and then we'll move on to that. This will take up less time just because there's less known about the economy than there is about the org tools. So we'll just kind of theory craft around what we know, what we expect, and what we want. Okay, so I'll just run the ad now. We'll be right back. Right, so this is all we have on this. We know who Tuni Zurovic is, and I think we all understand what Quanta originally was supposed to be. Yeah. So we don't need to go over that between each other. But yeah, so we'll just kind of discuss Quanta, discuss how it is now, and then we can kind of move forward from there.
You got it.
I don't know what this monkey advert.
Oh, the monkey movie.
Oh.
You haven't seen that monkey movie trailer?
I don't watch
Jinx,
any trailer.
the monkey movie is your favorite one. Don't deny it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Right. So the economy in Star Citizen. Can we agree that in the definition of what an economy truly is, Star Citizen technically doesn't really have an economy of sorts?
No.
Yeah, lead a bit on new EX for the stuff.
Yeah, it has I meant like, within the game, because people
within
go
the
outside.
Game, no. Within the community, yes, we've kind of built a little bit of an economy.
At the moment, the economy is adjust the numbers between patches, and that's essentially all it is at the moment. Which is great, but it's not a live economy. It just means that a developer comes along every patch cycle, or between each patch cycle, looks at how players are behaving, and adjusts costs appropriately. Now, given how inflated all of the currency in the game has become, those changes have become a little bit meaningless at this point. So
yeah, it's usually too little and way too late before this all blows up.
Yeah, in part, Wicklow is to blame for that because of how much trading that's encouraged between players. Encouraging trading between players is great. That's fantastic. It's wonderful. However, the amount that people have charged for all those things and earned from charging that is ridiculous.
Insane.
It is ridiculous.
That, to be fair, it's partially due to exploitation in the game.
Yeah, exploitation as well. Yeah, duping.
If that wouldn't happen, like if they actually had the, this on the lock kind of thing, I think the prices would not go skyrocket like that.
Yeah. Okay.
They probably still would go up, but not as quick.
Yeah. So, Quanta is the original name for the dynamic economy that Star Citizen aims to have in the game. Now, over the years, and the game has been in development for 14 years now at this point, including the pre-conceptual stage, we haven't really heard a lot about Quanta of recent years. There's been very brief updates, not very detailed. But the original conceptual mind behind it is Tony Zurovic, or Tony Z. He's no longer actively with the company, but an emeritus staff member with an honorary title. They probably have some background say in how it's being developed, but he is not the person behind it right now. As you can see, the scrawlings regarding Quanta behind him make him kind of like a crazy person inside a madhouse, writing all over the walls. But it's a very
alien dialect.
Yeah, it's a very detailed system. I've left this card blank so we can kind of theorycraft on the ideas of Quanta. It will now be called Star Sim, and the idea being that it will be a simulated economy within the verse. Now, my feelings on a simulated economy is it's very dependent on player numbers. If you have a game with very few players in it, it's very hard to drive a dynamic economy because there's not enough players for the money to go around and have it make meaningful changes in the universe. So it's dependent on how many players will be active.
I think they should just open the floodgates, put a market in the game, and let us do it.
I don't think it's that simple, but
it's kind of like what they want to do, but they need to have a system in place that when we're buying things from stations and stuff like that, there's a way that it can be refilled and replenished, and it can actually go out and you can't buy it, and then it builds off of that. With the Star Sim system, hopefully it's dynamic in that sense. Like if you buy all the ammo, and now a mission comes into place, and I have to bring the ammo over there for it to come back instead of you waiting for the server to tick to be able to do something. I think that's like one of the wackest things.
It's kind of like crafting, right? Because if you've got like an ammo production facility, right, and it's going to require like 3 or 4 different resources, which will bring them in, and then you just wait a time for them to produce it before you take it and go. It's basically kind of like crafting, right? And if they don't have a specific thing, they just don't produce. So I'm hoping after the crafting is going to come out, they're going to use that similar kind of system for it. But yeah, we'll see.
Right, so
open the floodgates, tell you.
Let me just set it. I've got something in
good.
mind for this. So the way Quanta was supposed to work, these blue circles will be planets, just to clarify. Let's just say there's 3 planets in this system. Triangles will be ships. So the original concept behind Quanta was that the economy will adjust as well as NPC behavior will adjust based on activity in the verse. So let's say, I think this is a representation of security in each area and piracy activity. So I think security is blue, piracy activity is red. The further you get out from the system, the more activity there is. So if I'm here, depending where I am in the universe, the state of the universe, and these are all dynamic. These variations change depending on the state of the game. There may be more security if there's been more piracy, or less security overall if in recent times there's been less piracy. So it adjusts based on that information. So if the game knows that there's tons of players moving Quantanium through the system, it will trigger piracy to increase in that area. And depending on how far out you are, increases the likelihood of that piracy triggering where you are. The game will spawn NPCs that will interdict your ship, which does happen to a point right now, but it's not based on this system currently. And they'll interdict your ship, and that creates an instance of piracy based on the movement of goods within the universe. This is more just to depict. So in this area, it'll jam your quantum, you'll be raided. And because you're in an area where there's a lot of piracy, but at this point there is low security, the response time, which maybe here would be 2 minutes. The response time there would be 2 minutes, but maybe here it becomes 15 minutes. Oh, God. 15 minutes. And this is all based on the movement of goods in the system. So I'm moving Quantanium from R-Corp to Crusader, and a lot of players move it through this area. There's a higher amount of piracy due to the amount of Quantanium that's being moved between those two places. The piracy goes up. So maybe this bar started down here, but because there's been movement of Quantanium in the system, piracy goes up. The system adapts, spawns NPCs to pirate those players. Because up until this point, there's not been any piracy, security is already low, and so it takes longer for them to respond. The game produces a timer in the background. Obviously, we can't see that, and it takes a bit longer for security to arrive in a lawful system to back up those people. If this scenario here happened in a lower risk area, it won't let me move them. Sorry. If it happened in a lower risk area, like over here, it can still be pirated, but it means that the response, based on the movement of goods and the amount of piracy in the area and the amount of security, the response time is lower. So that's just an example of how it will be dynamic, not just in the goods and prices and purchases, but in the actual behavior of the game, based on the movement of goods, the behind the scenes programming of the NPCs based on piracy, security, and lawfulness. And that's kind of how it will interact with each other on a basic level. Have I missed anything? Maddie, you'll probably know a bit more about this than me.
No, you kind of got it on top of the head. It's just like you're saying, that there needs to be a reactiveness to our actions. Right now, there's none in the game, and that's kind of what's missing when it comes to this economy. Like you said, if something gets bought out and now it needs to get resupplied, and that thing's in high demand, yeah, that's going to cause pirate NPCs to want to pirate that in those areas where they see high traffics coming through. And like that's where the dynamic system would react. It sees a bunch of players are moving through the system, it could spawn NPCs there to pirate them. It just needs to be more reactive. And that's what I hope in the future we get with the economy is as we're doing things, whether it's giving us missions to resupply things or it's actually causing the price of something to go through the roof, even towards the NPC side. Like if someone's buying up a lot of fuel in Nyx, now the fuel in Nyx is more expensive because they're having to get it from other systems. Or whatever the resource may be. It just needs to be reactive like that.
Yeah.
To where like there's actually a consequence. That's the word I was trying to look for in my head. There's actually a consequence to buying out something or going crazy like you see with the Quantanium right now in the game. Everyone went crazy for Polaris parts, so Quantanium got priced so high through the roof by players, just by players, not by the game itself, that if you go Quantanium mining right now, you can become a billionaire in a couple hours in the game.
Yeah, so yeah, which I agree would be great, but like having flying ships transporting stuff from place to place, I don't think the servers can handle, and it's not going to be anytime soon. That's why I'm saying when the crafting base building is going to come in, all the resources are going to be in high demand by players because everyone's going to want to build. So that's why I'm saying just give us as more tools to deal with the economy, and that way it would be just at least in the short to mid range time, kind of we can deal with it. And when they all sorted everything out later on, then do it, right? But like, there's no economy anyway, so just give us tools to deal with it, and we cannot do it already. So
yeah, well, just to clarify on this is just the underlying system. Yeah. This is what is going to be reacting in the background to the economy in the game. Yeah, what you're purchasing, what you're not purchasing. I understand what you're saying. When crafting first comes in, the economy will be all over the place because everything will mean everything at that time. But as crafting becomes more robust and the different tiers of quality come in, the different tiers of ships and weapons and armor, the economy will stabilize based on the value of the items, the income of the players, and the stocks in the locations. And the interactions between all those three things, including in crafting, will affect the universe. Now, I'm not sure, because this is the original Quanta concept. I'm not sure to what degree this particular setup will be implemented. Yeah. So this could have changed because, like you say, Villain, to have servers track that much information on the server would be a challenge in itself. But this was the original idea behind Quanta, to have those stock markets affecting each other, to have player interactions affecting that stock market, locations having a depleting and increasing stocks of specific commodities. That's all supposed to be in there, and that will be informed by this system in terms of NPC and system behavior. Now,
I cannot.
Quanta has now evolved into the Star Sim, and to what degree that matches with the original concept, we don't really know because they haven't told us.
They haven't told us, and they've actually went in a different direction with a lot of things, and they gave us like this 1.0 look at the game, and they said Star Sim's in there, but they really didn't say much about it.
Yeah. Sorry, Villain, go ahead. You had something you wanted to say.
I'm saying, like, I would be happy if what they've done, when there's because how resources are produced in the game, every like 20 minutes there is a tick, and every place got specific amount of resources just magically appear. So instead of that, if you've got like an iron mine or something, it doesn't produce anything until you deliver, I don't know, food or something, food and water, right? And if you've got those two and you drop it, and based on 100 of them, they produce maybe like 50 of iron. And when this depletes, they stop producing it. So then now you've got two ways. You need to deliver stuff in, and you need to take stuff out from one location. And the same thing, you can have like a ammo factories or something, so they've got like multiple different things they need, and suddenly you've got just economy kind of works, because if you don't deliver stuff or buy or trade or produce and deliver it, nothing works. And they don't need to really like do crazy amount of moving stuff around by NPCs, and if there's like you want iron, you go mine it yourself or deliver whatever else the mining company wants to collect it later. And that would actually semi resemble some kind of economy, but they want to go big way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think the dynamic economy in itself would be relatively easy to implement. They could do it just like that if they wanted to have it just be dependent on the numbers and the stocks, things in the universe, how many players are mining and delivering and buying and selling, things like that. But the original concept wanted to ensure that the universe itself would react to those things. Again, I'm not sure to what degree the original concept of Quanta will be implemented. I imagine they'll want to keep some of this stuff, because I do think it'd be really interesting. You're going through Stanton and you're sticking to the outskirts because you've got some dodgy cargo on board, Villain.
Yeah.
You have a higher risk of being pirated because there's been an influx of drugs in the area in that particular quadrant, and you're in a low security area, or a low response time rather, of the Stanton system, so you have to deal with the consequences of moving it. And then so that you go through this area, you're more likely to get pirated on your way to your destination. But you make the other choice and say, okay, well, I know that the piracy is a lower level here, so I'll go through here. But then you have an increased risk of encountering security and being caught transporting illegal substances. So I do think they'll want to still achieve something in that direction, and that would definitely be in line with essentially their credo, which is trying to be as immersive as possible. I do think they've fallen short on some of those things recently, but
yeah, it would be cool if you like need to smuggle like drugs into big cities, because that's when you've got the most customers and get paid the most, and very dangerous route kind of thing. But that's gameplay for a player, not for NPC to do it, right?
Yeah, but you still want NPC gameplay, because there are players that don't want PvP or don't want player-to-player interaction. There's some people that just want solo activities. And there's also going to be transient jump points as well.
Yeah.
Which is a gameplay feature we're all kind of waiting for.
I actually thought they're going to come in I was thinking 6 months after the original jump point came out. I was like, oh, they might put them in.
It's probably dependent on an instancing technology.
Maybe.
Because the way a jump tunnel works, I think we've gone through this before, is you'll have the two servers, one for Pyro, one for Stanton. And when you enter the jump tunnel, you essentially enter like a little train server that holds a maximum of 40 people. And while it's transitioning between the servers, you kind of you stay on the Stanton server while the Pyro server is loading, and then you transition, and then you offload into the Pyro server when you get connected. That's kind of how it works currently. So if you have a transient jump point, which I will be using a yellow box for, because why not? If that appears here, that means that you're going to have to create an instance of that 40-person server while it transitions you to Pyro in a random location. So I think it will take a bit longer and probably a bit more processing power to do that anywhere in the Stanton system to then appear anywhere in the Pyro system. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it's going to work, where you all appear anywhere in the Pyro system. It might be that the transient jump gates are kind of offshoots from...
That's why I thought they're going to be closer to the actual... in that kind of corner of your system where the jump point is to Nyx or Pyro.
I think it would be more something along these lines, where there'd be a main branch of the tunnel and the transient jump points are offshoots, and you travel kind of through and into the main tunnel from there. Yeah, I think that's how they see them. But I would love to just see random transient jump points, and you don't know where it goes.
Like where you do like a ping scan, and it just like pops up, and it just
tells
like
you maybe
random jump point.
The property of the area it's going to, and you have to try and say, well, it's got a lot of this type of ore in it, so maybe this is the Nyx system. But yeah, transient jump points would be great. But that would be a big part of smuggling gameplay.
Yeah, it would be cool.
When
something
security is functional.
Yeah, but security, there was a security back in the day, right? And they removed it.
Yeah. Well, that's because they had this ability for some strange reason. So you would be... let me get my wonderful shapes out again. So you would be flying along.
I don't mean to cut you off, Mormon, but I just noticed that I have to go.
That's okay.
My son early from school today.
Yeah.
So letting him out early today. So I gotta leave like now to go get him.
We'll be ending the stream in just a moment anyway, so that's fine. But thank you, Maddie, for being here. Goodbye and enjoy your school.
I love you guys. Sorry I had to leave early.
So the way the security used to work, you'd be flying along with your drugs or whatever, or no drugs, depending. And then security would come along and they would scan you, and you'd have to stop moving, which is fine. But they had this uncanny ability to perfectly track your ship, where they would look locked on like this, even if you were to...
They just had really good pilots. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, even if you were to rotate, they would follow you around.
Yeah, and so people very good pilots.
People would exploit it. And so if your station was right here, you just turn so that they would smash into the station. So it wasn't a very good security system. And very rarely did, even if you have drugs on board, would it detect the drugs. So it wasn't a great security system, if I'm being honest.
I didn't say it was a good security system. I said they had one.
They did. You're right. But the economy is a bit of a question mark at the moment. It does need a lot of work, and it would be nice to see a more dynamic economy in the near future. I think it's dependent on a lot of systems like Planet Tech V5, base building, crafting. When we see more of that come into the game, I think we'll
more things, basically. Yeah,
we'll get a more dynamic economy. Does anyone in the chat have any thoughts they'd like to share? I know, Jinx, you don't really play the game, but do you have any questions? Maybe we've moved a bit too fast on economy that you want to ask, or if you just think it just sucks.
She's like, when do they stop talking?
Yeah,
about
if you just
the economy?
If you just think that we're just rambling about something that means nothing, feel free to comment. But yeah, the economy needs work. The org tools are a little bit more fleshed out. We have more information about that. The economy, not so much. Just looked at the wiki. Love it. But I think that will bring us to the end of the stream today. I think we've gone over quite a lot of things. Villain, do you have anything you want to close on at all?
No. I think we covered everything that I thought of.
Okay.
And you guys stole my ideas.
No, CIG stole the ideas. Look, they're right here. They're on the whiteboard page that I sent you before the stream. You know, the one you didn't read?
I had them locked in up here for years, man. I don't know how they cracked the system, man, and got in.
Yeah, well, we appreciate the support, Johnny. So thank you for listening in. Tell your friends about us. We are going to raid, but I'll put an add-on just for the last section of this while we look for someone to raid, and then we will try and support another Twitch streamer. So if you could stick around just to view the streamer, see if you want to support them, just to pass on any goodwill. We appreciate it.
James, the commercial is just for you.
Just for you. I'm going to make sure it's the monkey.
Yeah. But we've got that kind of power. Yeah, totally.
All right. I'm going to look for a raid. The ad's going to run just now for 60 seconds. Let's have a little look. Nick's mission grind with the boys, 8 viewers. That looks like a good one to go to. Beginner streamer. Okay.
I may have or may have not ordered some food. We will just never know.
Okay, we're all ready?
Yeah.
Ready now. There we go. All right, well, thanks guys for watching. See you later.